I'd like to call this meeting to order. If we can all stand and I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do we have a roll call, please?
Keston Rock,
Here.
David Glabe,
Here.
Corinne Dudo,
Here.
Nicole Howard,
Here.
Molly King is absent excused, Marianne Miesner,
Here.
Denise Wheeler.
Are there any changes to the consent agenda?
There are no changes to the agenda.
Perfect, thank you. Do we have a motion?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, we've had a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Now we will move on. This will be our portion for public comments. If there is any citizens that would like to step up to the podium and speak to a non-agenda item, would be this time. Actually, I see the chief walking up. I don't see anybody that wants, so it's all you, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. I am here tonight to introduce 7 new members of the fire department. It's pretty exciting. So this brings us to full staffing, including the 3 positions that you approved during the budget committee process, and allows us to have 6 people per shift, which is something LeGrande's never had. We're pretty excited about that. So I have short bios from each one of them, and we'll introduce them one at a time. So first, we're going to start with Casey Johnson. Stand up. Oh, you're fine. Casey Johnson comes from to LeGrande with 10 years plus experience as a firefighter paramedic, most recently having worked in our neighboring community of Baker City. He attended Central Oregon Community College in Bend to earn his paramedic license while working as a reserve firefighter in Sun River. And his previous experience working in construction, woodworking, and Alaskan fishing guide. Casey and his girlfriend have 2 dogs, 1 new puppy that they've been working hard to train for waterfowl and upland game birds. In his breaks, in between breaks, he's remodeling a 100-year-old house. When not doing either of the previous tasks, Casey enjoys fishing, blacksmithing, big game hunting. He's excited to have the city council know that the importance of emergency response in his community and is looking forward to settling in for a long haul for the citizens of LeGrande and the surrounding areas. Welcome. Next is Travis Fields. Once he completed his formal education, he accepted the job in Baker City. Travis enjoys all types of outdoor activities, including skiing, hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, backpacking, boating, riding motorcycles, and in his spare time, woodworking. The pride and joy of Travis's life is his wife and 3 kids. He married his wife, Casey, in 2009, and they were blessed with 3 beautiful girls. Their ages are 12, 10, and 8. He is a mentor to them and takes great pleasure in raising his family in a Christian home. Travis is excited to be a member of the LeGrande Fire Department and be able to serve the city and the Union County in his capacity as a firefighter paramedic. Who's going to be last? Owen Burbank. Owen was started the 21st of June with us. He's lived in the area for 5 years, and that time he's earned his bachelor's degree in fire science or fire service administration. He also is a volunteer for the LeGrande Rural Fire Department. Through his education and volunteering experience, his passion for the career has grown every day, and getting the opportunity to serve this community is still hard for him to comprehend. He has an amazing family of 3 and is currently in the process of buying his first home. Grande was supposed to be a stepping stone in his journey of life, but because of the opportunity, he can safely say that LeGrand has become his home, and he's very eager to have a long, safe career with us. Ethan Ingram. Ethan recently moved from Coos Bay, Oregon, where he graduated high school and started his career in the fire service as a resident intern at North Bay Fire and Coos Bay Fire. During his time as an intern, he studied for 2 years and graduated with a fire science degree from Southwestern Oregon College. Ethan is grateful for the opportunity to serve LeGrand and start growing his family here. Next is Alex Kerr. Alex was born and raised in LeGrand, attending middle and high school here. After high school, he left for 2 years to obtain his associate's degree in fire science and at Blue Mountain Community College. While he was studying for his degree in Pendleton, he also had the opportunity to work with the Pendleton Fire and Ambulance Service as a resident intern. That helped him to find his passion in firefighting and emergency services. He enjoys spending time fishing, being outdoors, as well as being active and exercising. Looking forward to being able to be back in his hometown with his family and friends. Jace Hagan. Jace was born and raised in Coquille, Oregon. He was a student firefighter for Coos Bay for 2 years before he got hired in LeGrand. During his time at Coos Bay, he worked alongside his father, who's been with Coos Bay for 20 years. His father is the one that gave him the passion to become a firefighter. He's very excited to begin his career here in LeGrand and loves the town. He's a big outdoor person and loves to fish and hunt, so it won't be any issues making LeGrand his home. Cody Slaney was born in Oak Harbor, Washington, moved to Eagle Point, Oregon, where he received a diploma from Eagle Point High School, followed by an associate's degree in fire science at Road Community College. Some of his hobbies are creating flies for fly fishing and many other outdoor activities like hunting, camping, fishing, and hiking. You can see they all spend a lot of time together off shift. His fire service background consists of serving as a student firefighter for Grants Pass Fire and 2 years as a volunteer firefighter for Jackson County Fire District 3. He also was with Lake Creek Rural Fire District for 5 years. Worked as a firefighter EMT for Coquille or Chiloquin Fire and Rescue for 1.5 years. Came to the city of LeGrand with the opportunity to expand and grow his career as a firefighter and hope to continue his family legacy of serving the community and the country. So anyway, pretty exciting news. They're in the middle of their 2-week academy, so they've been out sweating a lot in the hot weather in their turnouts, and our drill sergeant's done a good job running them through that. So anyway, welcome and thank you.
Welcome to us, LeGrand.
Just want to start off and say welcome to each one of you. You guys are going to do our job, and it's not easy what you do, and we do appreciate each and every one of you. But thank you. With that, we will move on to our public hearings. First one, we have an ordinance of the second reading amending the land use development codes, or land development code, sorry. Mr. Mike.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor and Council. So this is your second reading of the ordinance, and so we had a fairly long discussion last month, and that kind of concluded with a couple changes. One of those changes was at the request of a resident for increasing the quantity of short-term rentals that somebody could have from 1 to 2. And then the other change that that,
Actually, can I stop for a minute?
yes, you can.
I jumped out of order.
Oh,
I
sorry.
just want to announce that the public hearing is still in the open, the ordinance in the second reading. We are still open from July 12th. And so is that good enough, Robert? Thank you. I jumped over that one.
Yeah, you caught yourself.
I did. Sorry, Mr. Mike.
That's okay, thank you. Yeah, and so then the second change that we discussed that was made, and it's in your packet, is changing the distance that a short-term rental owner or their manager would need to reside within proximity of their short-term rental. It was originally proposed at 10 miles, and we bumped it up to 15 in order to add some of the outlying communities like Union and Cove that would be outside that 10 distance. And so those are the two changes that we discussed. And then I just wanted to confirm that the change is still there that came from the Planning Commission recommendation to remove the cottage home opportunity from the R1 zone that was originally proposed by the consultants on our housing study. So those are the changes that I guess are before you tonight, just for confirmation that they're there. And if you have any other questions, you want to talk about something else, it's all yours. Any questions?
So the thing that I text you about, that would come under the next section, wouldn't it? The Ridge subdivision.
Well, that's a different issue. So Mary Ann emailed a question about possibly rezoning the Ridge subdivision, the existing developed area that's currently R2 to an R1 zone. And that is something that now that it's developed, it could probably be justified fairly easily, just because the type of housing and the density in there is consistent with that zoning. And so that's something that we don't usually initiate as the city, but if the property owners wanted to get together and submit an application and go through that process, they could. The difference between the R2 and the R1 zone are very, very small. About the only difference right now is the R2 zone now would allow for cottage housing. And I really don't envision somebody wanting to do that in that neighborhood, but the opportunity is there on the vacant lots that remain. And so that's something the owners could pursue.
So did the owners pursue it from 12th Street and 16th Street and 20th Street? Or did we just do it?
Well, we generally don't do that. So that's usually not something that the city initiates and does, because it's a fairly lengthy process. And so we generally apply a zone based on what we want the development area to look like at the time that we expand our urban growth boundary and bring that into our jurisdiction. And it's really based on our housing needs study on what type of lands do we need. And then we apply a zone based on that study. And over time, as development occurs, we don't require developers to develop exactly to the density standard that we have in the code. So, for example, the medium density residential zone allows for 5 to 10 units per acre. Some developers, aim for that higher target, and some aim for the lower target. In the case of the Ridge subdivision, because of topography and some drainage and a variety of things they had to work around, they actually received a variance to develop to a lesser density, and which is consistent with a different zoning based on that variance. So anyway, so for that issue, that is something that property owners could come to us, and you'll actually see this next month, as you'll see 2 applications come before you for rezoning where property owners have come to us and asked for that.
Oh, okay.
They're not residential related like this conversation, but
that's
that's a property owner initiated process.
But that's really not in this particular, what we're voting on now. That will be the next one.
What do you mean next?
Well, don't we have down here the zoning? The zoning one is different, right? Or is that all together right now? I guess it is all together. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, we're not actually rezoning any properties
Right, tonight.
specifically. Yeah.
This is just what can happen in the zones.
Correct.
Yeah.
The zones are established separately.
Yes.
Okay, I will talk to the property owners.
Sure.
Okay. If they want to. Thank you.
Any more questions for Mr. Mike?
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
your hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite public testimony for those who would like to speak in favor of this ordinance. Neutral? Opposition? So there is none. Councilor discussion. Do we need any more discussion on this matter?
I think I agree with everything that we did last time.
Entertain a motion?
I move that the proposed ordinance amending the land development code be read for a second time by title only, put to a vote and adopted.
Second.
Mayor, if you would close the public hearing before you ask for the vote,
Sorry about that.
that's
Yes,
okay.
sir. I didn't. At this time, I'd like to close the public hearing.
And then you can ask for the vote.
No, we can ask for no. Thank you. Or actually, no, we have to. All right, so we've had a first and a second. At this time, the city recorder to read the proposed ordinance for the second time by title only.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of LaGrande, Union County, Oregon, repealing ordinance number 3252, Series 2021, and 3257, Series 2022, and adopting an ordinance of the City of LaGrande, Union County, Oregon, amending various articles, adding new language, and recodifying the Land Development Code ordinance, repealing all other ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, and declaring an effective date.
Thank you, Stacy. And with that, we've had first, second, the city recorder is read. And with that, all in favor? Aye. It passed. Thank you.
Yeah, I almost screwed you up there.
A little bit. No unfinished business, new business, none. County Commissioner update. Welcome.
Yes. Good evening, Mayor and councilors. I got a few things. I just want to remind everybody that it's Fair Week. So please go out and do what you can. We still don't have no carnival, but there are bouncy houses, and we're doing our best to have some entertainment out there for the younger generation. But it's going full swing. I am not going to make it the next 2 days. That brings me to my next subject because of the Eastern Oregon Economic Development Summit. So hopefully you guys have got signed up and you'll be there. Just an overview of what's happening. There are 4 tours that are happening here in LaGrande, Union County. There's 3 bus tours, 1 water tour, 1 natural resource tour, 1 housing tour, and a walking tour of LaGrande for economic development. And then there will be a meet and greet and dinner at the parking lot there next to Benchwarmers, starting at 5 o'clock. If you can't make any of the tours, I would really suggest you at least kind of show up there. Good time to meet a lot of legislators. Congressman Bentz, Senator Wyden, Senator Merkley will be in attendance. It's a good time. Like I said last meeting, there's a lot of legislators, commissioners coming from all across the state that are going to be here. Friday is up at EOU in the field house. There will be speakers and updates from Wyden, Merkley, and Bentz that I just mentioned. As long Tobias Reed will be here to give some speeches as well and some updates. So if you have time, I really, it's just our time to show that Union County, LaGrande is a place to be and welcome them fully. The other thing that I have is we did have our meeting and we dusted off the Greenway project. So, yep, and Robert can, he'll probably give you an update as well, but we've sat with the mayor of Island City and Karen Houghton, their administrator, and myself and Robert, and opened it back up, kind of refreshed our memories a little bit, went through all of the scenarios, and I forgot that there were as many as there were. I think they went to E or F. And so I'll let Robert, if you would, kind of say where we're at on everything. But the Island City is going to have a work session on this to get all their counselors up to date on the history and where it ended and where it most likely will start back up if everyone would like to do so. So with that being said, make sure you go to the fair, try to go to the EOU summit, and the Greenway project is dusted off. And We haven't talked cats in a while, so maybe we need to.
Yeah, we gotta talk that.
I'm trying to keep up with everything right now. I mean, budget season's over and everything's about to start ramping up again, but you guys have any questions?
Thanks for taking care of that on the group.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate
no
it.
problem.
Doing that.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any staff comments?
Mr. Mayor and city councilors, appreciate the opportunity to speak with you tonight. I have something that I want to share, but I want to preface it by saying that I know this individual is not a fan of public recognition, but I contemplated this. It just needs to be stated. So I think it's a little bit serendipitous that so many individuals received public recognition tonight, but without any further hesitation, let me just read to you. Dated July 20th, 2023, this is a letter of commendation. The intent of this letter is to formally recognize and commend Fire Chief Emmett Cornford for the exceptional dedication to service that he demonstrated while acting in support of the incident command team during an extraordinary critical incident on July 5, 2023. Early in the morning of July 5, LeGrande Police Department personnel were notified that an individual had climbed to the top of the 150-foot tall crane at the Grand Ronde Hospital construction site and was threatening to commit suicide by jumping. I personally contacted Chief Cornford, and after quickly briefing him about the situation, he stated, "I'm on my way." Upon his arrival at the command post and without hesitation, Chief Cornford offered his support and whatever assistance was needed. He and I agreed that this was, without question, one of the more challenging situations either of us had faced in our combined 70 years of public safety service to the city of LeGrande. Chief Cornford was instrumental in the coordinated response to this incredibly difficult situation. These efforts included establishing communication and facilitating negotiations with the individual while simultaneously exploring and putting into place contingency plans for a rescue if that were to become necessary. Chief Cornford exhibited exceptional command level leadership in his role, contributing to a very well organized operation involving over 30 first responders and support personnel. Although a stressful and challenging situation, Chief Cornford's command presence and situationally appropriate leadership served to inspire and reassure the entire team. After nearly 6 hours of negotiating, the individual unfortunately jumped from the crane. The identified rescue plan was initiated, and within a few moments, the individual was receiving advanced medical care. There is no question that Chief Cornford's leadership was a contributing factor to this individual's life being saved. Chief Cornford's actions in this situation demonstrated a common spirit of devotion to our public safety team and to our community. These actions exemplify our shared value of quality leadership, which is in keeping with the highest traditions of the LeGrande Police and Fire Departments. It is with great honor and satisfaction that I formally commend Fire Chief Emmett Cornford for his service and contribution to our community and to the LeGrande Police Department. Job well done. I'm sure that I will pay for the public recognition later. The city manager and I spoke about this a few weeks ago after I drafted that. And I wasn't certain what the most appropriate forum would be to present that to the chief, but I feel like that it's important that you guys recognize what an incredible leader that we have in him. And the relationship that he and I have is invaluable to me. And I know that that translates to quality service to the community. So I wanted to share with you. In other business, because I can't leave the police department message entirely positive. Staffing at the police department, this calendar year, we're losing about 120 years of combined service and retirements. We have 5 retirements at the police department that we're neck deep in working hard in order to fill those vacancies. Some of them have already been realized, some of them are still pending, but we have a longtime police sergeant in Jared Rogers, who is retiring later this month. 25 years of service, most certainly deserving. I mean, we can't ask much more of our public servants than that, but he will be missed. So we'll be working to replace that vacancy in the police ranks. We have 2 dispatchers that have already retired and another departure coming up later this month. So we have 3 dispatch vacancies we're working to fill, and then my administrative assistant and a secretary in the office that will be retiring later this fall. So we're working on it. So if any of you guys want to apply, it's open.
But we can't.
I understand. And in addition to what Commissioner Scarfield shared about, we got a lot going on in LeGrand this week, including what he shared. We have Moonlight Tournament down at Pioneer Park that starts on Friday night. So that will bring a lot of people to the community as well. But that's all I have to share unless you have any questions for me. Thanks.
Thank you, Chief. Would any more staff like to make any comments?
So first I wanted to apologize for the whole gang leaving, but we have a training tonight and they were all excited to get there. So I'm sorry for that, but sorry. No. That was an amazing day. I'll just leave it at that. It was a team, and I've seen a lot of things, but the way that turned out, nobody expected. And it was because of a lot of people that put a lot of effort out. And that young man's still alive. I understand he's walking on his own, walking, talking. So pretty rewarding in itself. So, and this will make it even.
City managers.
I wasn't going to cover anything, but then, county commissioner threw me under the bus like that. So we did have a meeting. The current Island City Council only has 1 member who was on the council at the time of the vote on the Greenway project. And so their mayor asked to visit with their council and kind of share with them what's going on. Clearly no decisions were made, but the kind of brainstorming was there are a number of potentials for moving that project forward that could be explored. One would be to do nothing. One would be for another entity to potentially take possession of the property that is owned by Island City for trail purposes, to potentially move forward with some portions of it. There are changes in ownership of properties along the trail that would have to be explored. And the main purpose of that initial visit was to start the conversation. And following Island City having their conversation, we'll look at putting together a work session that includes county commissioners, Island City Council, and the Grande City Council, just to kind of see where things are and what might be pursued. So just wanted to update on that. The mayor provided me a letter the other day signed by a number of residents on O Avenue regarding a property that had a fire a while back. And either went out today or will go out tomorrow, an enforcement letter relating to what needs to happen with that property. And I'll be sending a copy of that letter that the mayor provided along with an update on that to you. But I just want to make you aware.
Did you say O or oak?
Oh.
It's O, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1311 O.
Yeah.
And so look for that. You should have gotten an email that we will not have a work session on the 14th that was scheduled. And we may have a work session on the 21st. At our staff meeting tomorrow, we'll talk about whether or not we have anything that might be ready for that. Otherwise, your next time together will be for the September council meeting. And that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. All right, city council comments. Mary Ann, would you like to start us off?
I do. I attended the senior center meeting along with Matt. And I just wanted to update you guys on some of the things that they came up with. One is the 1st of August, which was yesterday. They raised their meal donations from $4 to $5. So, because they were getting, I think their meals were going up in price, and so they needed to do that. And then for under 60 meals, they were moving it from 7 to 8. And they visited all the homes that were they did a home visit for everybody that was doing the wheel, the Meals on Wheels. And they took it down from, I think they had 104 that were receiving those meals, but some of them were able to now get out. And so they took it down to 60, which will help their budget a lot, because that's 40 people they don't have to serve that way. And they are planning on having a spookorama on September 28th. No, it must be October 28th. I wrote September, but I think it's October. And the community will be welcome. They're going to do they want to have games inside. They want to have trunk or treat out on the parking lot. And I think I had, I thought I had 2 pages, but maybe not. Guess you're lucky that's it. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mary Ann.
Just briefly, wanted to bring attention to an issue. I've had conversations with a couple of individuals the last couple of weeks, both of whom are intimately involved in substance abuse treatment here in LaGrande. That is a serious, serious issue that we have in our community. We don't talk about it enough. And it needs to stay at the forefront of discussions that we have as a city and as a council. But as part of that, I wanted to extend some gratitude to the people in our community who work to combat the effects of substance abuse and addiction. And that includes our chiefs that are with us here tonight, some of our medical providers, emergency response personnel, as well as those who are involved in the mental health side and the counseling side of it. But I think, we don't talk about it enough, but it is a recurrent, resounding issue in our community. And I think whatever opportunities we have, I would invite discussion as to how we can better address that and better support those who are dealing with it, as well as act to prevent others from, being entangled in that web. So that's all I had to say. And then I'll just second Commissioner's comments. We should support our fair. The board does a phenomenal job, and many of our organizations are out there. I would encourage those of us here in the room, as well as our community members, to go and support those present. A lot of our service organizations are out there selling goods and services or displaying what they have to offer. So, second that.
And the fair parade is Friday night. To let everybody know.
Good.
I got nothing.
Denise, do you have anything for us this evening, or?
No,
Perfect.
I'm just excited about the fair.
Excellent. I think all of us are. All right, now on to me. I get to do a proclamation for the city. LaGrande, Union County, Oregon's Farmers Market Week, August 6th through the 12th, 2023. LaGrande, Union County, Oregon farmers and ranchers provide citizens with access to healthy, local, and regional processed or produced foods diverse array of agricultural products, and the farmers market and other agricultural direct markets outlets provide infrastructure to assist in the distributing of farmer and value-added products through, or thereby contributed approximately $9 billion each year to the U.S. economy. And the farmers market serves as a significant outlets by which small to medium, new and beginning, and veteran agriculture procedures market agricultural products. General revenue that supports the stability of family farms and revitalizations of rural communities nationwide. And the city of LaGrande mayor recognizes the importance of expanding agricultural marketing opportunities that assist and encourage the next generation of farmers and ranchers. Generations farming income to help stimulate businesses development and job creations, building community connections through rural and urban links, and more. The LaGrande's Farmer Market in LaGrande, Union County, Oregon, adds to the vitality of downtown LaGrande, Union County, Oregon, and strives to enhance the economic stability of our region's farms by providing a venue for exchange of quality local grown goods while creating a vibrant community gathering place. Therefore, to further awareness of farmers market, contributing to LaGrande and Union County, Oregon's life, I, Justin Rock, Mayor of the City of LaGrande, do hereby proclaim the week of August 6th through the 12th, 2023, as LaGrande, Oregon, and Union County Farmers Market Week in conjunction with the observance of National Farmers Market Week. I call upon LaGrande and Union County in Oregon, or Union County, Oregon, citizens to celebrate farmers market with appreciation, observance, and activities. And with that, if we don't have no more, we are adjourned.